Hi students, welcome to Ajitaha Free IAS Courses channel. In this video, let us continue our discussion regarding the development of Indian press during the British administration. In this video, let us discuss about 1908 Act and 1910 Act. 1908 Act, the British administration, in 1908, British administration brought an act, that is Newspaper Act, which is also Incitement to Offence Act, that is Newspaper Incitement to Offences Act. What was the context? In 1908, it was Swadeshi movement which was happening across Bengal and other parts of the India. There were minor protests against the partition of Bengal. In Andhra and Tamil Nadu region, it was called as Vande Mataram movement. It was same, the Swadeshi movement itself, but it was Vande Mataram movement. In 1908, after the Surat split, when there was a weakness in the Indian National Congress, the government of India, that is the British administration, they brought this act in order to crush the and suppress the extremists as well as who moderates the whole nationalist and freedom fighters. So, in order to suppress the extremist nationalist activity, they have given immense powers to the district magistrate. At this time, it was a Lord Curzon who was the viceroy, and they have given immense power to the district magistrate in a way that he can confess the press property in case the newspaper is causing incitement among the people against the British government. Tilak, who was the most prominent national and freedom fighter at the time, he was arrested on the charges of sedition and he was sent to Burma for 6 years. That is 1908 till 1914. If you remember, of course, in 1914 he will be released and he will be participated in the Home Rule League. Okay, along with Annie Besant. He will start a Home Rule League in Bombay, Maharashtra, Maharashtra, except Bombay and some other parts of Karnataka. We will discuss there at the time. So for 6 years, he is sent to Burma. And coming to the 1910 Act, the Swadeshi movement was, it lost its power at that time. The Swadeshi movement had lost its power, and the people have gone vain into that. Okay, Swadeshi movement down. So because the leaders were arrested and was sent to different parts. Okay, so in Indian Press Act came in 1910. Indian Press Act came, and the Indian Press Act, it revived the worst features of the Vernacular Press Act. Remember, Vernacular Press Act, it was uh, brought into picture in 1878 and it was repealed in 1882. So, the Vernacular Press Act, which gave the district magistrate immense powers to arrest a publisher and forfeit the security deposit and forfeit and secure the printing material and the printing equipment. So, and there was no right to appeal in the court of law. Such was the GOG, it was called as, what was that? I was telling. Gagging Act. So, such was the issues. They were, in publishers, were forced to enter into a bond and agreement with the district magistrate. So, that Vernacular Press Act was revived in the Indian Press Act, and two copies had to be submitted for the local government. So, pre-censor, though there was no pre-censorship, but the government can take any action after the publication of the book or a journal or a newspaper. This is the Indian Press Act. And coming to the uh, 1931, it was Indian Press Emergency Powers Act. What was happening at 1931? Civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji in 1930, that is in 1929, there was a declaration of Purna Swaraj by Nehru, and in 1930, Gandhiji gave 11 demands at Viceroy, and he, as Viceroy, never accepted those demands. Gandhiji started Dandi March. In 1931, the civil disobedience movement is at the second year. So Indian Press Emergency Powers Act was brought in the picture in order to suppress the civil disobedience movement and in order to suppress the freedom of press. It gave sweeping powers to the provincial governments to suppress the propaganda. I hear the term provincial governments because if you remember, government of 1919, I will discuss those also in the coming lectures. Government of India of 1919, it created bicameral legislature and also provincial assemblies in some of the new provinces. Okay, so provincial governments were set up in 1882-84 itself, especially in Bombay, Calcutta, Madras, and Agra, and Northwest Frontier Province after the uh, establishment of Sindh, separation of Sindh and all. So there were provincial governments being established. So this 1931, it gave sweeping powers to provincial governments to suppress the propaganda, and there were local elections also to suppress. And 1932, it included all the activities, means not just two newspapers, but also all the activities um, uh, like small congregation and picketing of liquor shops and any kind of a protest in the colleges, universities also. It gave this press act has been extended to cover any activity that is against the British administration. So these are the briefly about the development of press. That is actually there is no development of press. The press has been suppressed very badly and ruthlessly by the Indian, especially the government of India, the then government of India, which was the British administration. And if you see, during the World War One and during World War Two, British administration has extensively used the Defense of India rules uh, for pre-censorship, and they arrested Indian publishers and national freedom fighters, and they forfeited the Indian press equipment and the newspapers. And Tej Bahadur Sapru in 1921, he is a member of the press committee, and this press committee recommended the repealing of the 1908 and 1910 acts. We just have read about them. 1908 Newspapers Incitement to Offences Act and 1910 Act, which revived the VPA, that is Vernacular Press Act. He recommended to repeal those acts. So, though they have been repealed in 1921, some other acts, as we have just discussed, that is Indian Press Emergency Powers Act 1931 had been brought in, along with Defence of India rules, and Sedition Act was also brought into picture by the British government, though it had repealed the 1908-1910 Acts in 1921. So the government was never wanted to uh, give and expect the democracy to be flourished in India. So if we 1921 means already the World War One has happened, and in 1931 they are doing lot of imperialistic expansion in the Europe and the Asia and also in Africa. So with this context, we will move with the other chapters of the modern Indian history. Thank you so much.